Guys, it somehow happened again. Italy, the Italian national team, for the third time in a row, third consecutive time, have failed to qualify to a FIFA World Cup. If you know anything about football at all, you know this is a big deal, guys. They are four times champions. They won the whole thing as recent as 2006, which I know is 20 years ago now, which is pretty insane if you think about that. If you're around my age, 20 years ago, 2006, that doesn't seem right. 20 years ago should be like 1998 or something, right? Anyways, that's a whole different conversation for a different day. But yeah, they've won it back in 2006. After that, they were not very good. 2010, they didn't make it out of their group. 2014, same thing, did not make it out of their group. And then did not qualify for 2018, 2022, and now 2026. I think this is probably the worst one out of all the three that they haven't qualified for because they haven't been good, guys. They've been bad. And then also, now 48 teams make it. So you would expect pretty much all of like the major players in international football to make it into the World Cup. You know, you would expect Italy to be there, Brazil, Argentina, England, Uruguay, like all of these countries that have won it before. You would expect them to be in it every single time now that it's going to be 48 teams because no offense, but you know, we got like Cape Verde that's in it. If it wasn't 48 teams, Cape Verde would probably not be in the World Cup. So, it's insane, guys, that Italy fails again. I talked about this a few videos ago about Italian football being in shambles, but this just reinforces it. It's been a long time coming, even though it already happened twice, right? But this failure like this, where pretty much everyone is invited except you because you couldn't get past Bosnia Herzegovina. That's a mouthful, so I'm just gonna say Bosnia, okay? You couldn't get past them. It's a big failure, honestly. And if you're a football fan like myself, football purist, it's honestly it's sad, to be honest with you, because you expect Italy to be there. Like I said, they're a country that has been fantastic in football throughout most of history. The Serie A at one point was the strongest league in the world. Like I said, the national team has won 4 World Cups. But they're not good, guys. There's no, like how they say in Spanish, like crack. There's no fantastic player to do anything here. They don't have like Francesco Totti. They don't have Alessandro Del Piero or Andrea Pirlo. They have some good players, you know, Tonali and like Calafiori and Donnarumma. They wouldn't look out of place in that '06 squad, the last one, the World Cup. But other than that, they just don't have anyone. Like Retegi's a decent striker, but he's not like I said, like a Del Piero or a Totti. Midfield, I mean, there's not a whole lot there. It's honestly not a very good team, guys, and it's insane. I still am in disbelief that they did it 3 times in a row. Like Italy, guys, Italia, this is crazy. So they got to figure it out, guys, because they're not producing the players they were producing before. Like I said, their league is not that strong anymore. I mean, just look at the Champions League. Sorry, guys, I have allergies, but anyway, so yeah, that's pretty crazy, guys. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you think, because Italy not qualifying again, it's still a shocker. I mean, I was watching the playoffs that they were doing in Mexico. We'll talk about this in a bit, but even then, like, the commentators were like, hey, Italy just got eliminated. They are not going. Bosnia's going. And even in the stadium, they were showing like people on their phone like, well, what the heck? Because it's insane. It's Italy, guys. Like I said, you expect great things from them even when they're not very good. You expect them to be there. Like Germany has not been good recently, and they're still always there. But Italy, it's honestly insane, guys. But you know, they weren't the only ones that were playing. There was some more stuff that went down, because before this they actually had to play another round before that. I didn't mention that, and Italy did beat Northern Ireland, which you expected them to. So that would have been crazy if they would have gone out there. But there were some more playoffs there in Europe. Pretty much most of the players you would expect to get through did. I mean, Ireland, it was kind of a 50-50 in my opinion against Czechia. So Czechia went through on penalties. Wales, who lost to Bosnia, I actually expected Wales to go through. So that was a bit of a shock. But then we had this last round. Other than Italy, the major failure, you also had Denmark, which in my opinion, that's a big failure too. Because Denmark they're good. Like, they've been qualified for all the recent World Cups, and they have a good team, a better team than Czechia. They lost some penalties. If you watched the penalty shootout, you would have sworn these Danish players did not want to go to the World Cup because of the way they were taking the penalties. It was horrific, honestly. I think you could have thrown me in there. It would have been the same thing. Penalties were horrific. So they lost. That was a shocker, guys. I definitely expected to see Denmark in the World Cup. I thought I was going to see them play Mexico, but it looks like it's Czechia. So congrats to them. They haven't been there since 2006. So that's another big miss, guys. Like I said, with 48 teams, you would expect Denmark to be in there, but no, that's another casualty of this World Cup. Then we also had the Turkey versus Kosovo. Turkey just squeezes through 1-0. So they'll be in the U.S.'s group. So that'll be fascinating. After what the U.S. did this last window, Turkey has a good chance of finishing first, honestly. U.S. not looking good. But yeah, they beat Kosovo, who was close to going to the first ever World Cup. So that would have been kind of crazy. I don't think most of the people in the world even know that Kosovo is a country. So that would have been a shock for people, right? And then we had the Sweden versus Poland match, 3-2. This is crazy because Sweden should not be here at all. They're only here because of the Nations League ranking thing, which I'm not even going to go into. But yeah, they got a lifeline. They took it and they beat Poland, who, to be honest with you, I'm not too bummed about Poland. They are typically pretty boring. No offense to Polish people. Poland is a lovely country, but let's give Sweden a chance. They have a more exciting attack with Isak when he's back. If he's back for the World Cup, I'm not sure. Jokic, just more exciting players. So, yeah, guys, that's it for the European playoffs. Once again, guys, Italy. I'm so shocked. I can't believe they did it again. It's Italy, guys. Italia. Serie A, like 4th strongest league in the world. And they can't make it to a World Cup. That's honestly insane. It's crazy. Then we had the intercontinental playoffs. Did I say that right? Anyways, they played these playoffs over in Mexico. There was some doubt if this was even going to be played in Mexico because of some of the stuff going on in that country, which hopefully they figure it out someday, right? But yeah, we had the first one, which was Bolivia versus Suriname. Bolivia came back from behind. They won 2-1. They beat the Netherlands. I would say this is the E team. I would say they're the D team, but the D team actually qualified, which is Curaçao. Yeah, Netherlands E team. Honestly, guys, I am going to come off as a big hater here, but I am glad Suriname did not qualify. This is a team full of guys who just started representing the team just because they saw that they had a chance to qualify the World Cup. Like, okay, you know what? My grandma's from Suriname. Can I play for you? It was that type of thing. I'm not a big fan of that, guys. I don't mind like dual nationals. I mean, my country has a bunch of them. I don't mind people playing for the countries of their parents, things like that. But this Suriname team, it's just a bunch of guys that, if Suriname was not where they're at, they wouldn't have given a crap. They wouldn't have cared to play for Suriname. So I'm glad. These guys thought they had an easy pass to the World Cup. No, you got eliminated by Bolivia. So I'm honestly glad. Like I said, Netherlands E team, because the D team is actually in the World Cup, Curaçao. So I'm happy, guys. So you call me a Suriname hater. They also did eliminate El Salvador, and I'm Salvadorian, so I am a little bitter about that. But like I said, guys, this is a team full of, like, Pirot. Pirot had not played a single match for Suriname ever. And then from Leeds United, by the way, if you don't know who Pirot is. And all of a sudden he's called up and he's starting. Like, come on, guys. Like, what are we doing here? Like, yeah, so call me the #1 Suriname hater, but I am glad they got eliminated. So that one, I'm happy about that. I'm not happy about Italy. I'm not happy about that. I'm not going to be one of the people that's rejoicing in Italy's misery. But Suriname, I'm glad they got eliminated by Bolivia, who's mainly players from Bolivia, by the way. So that was pretty impressive. And then we had Jamaica versus New Caledonia. Jamaica, they were like, I don't know who Jamaica thinks they are. I'm actually glad they didn't make it either because of this. So they won 1-0, but they were over here resting players. You could tell they weren't taking the matches serious. Okay, New Caledonia, maybe they're not like this powerhouse. Maybe they're not good, like, at all. But, like, to be disrespectful like that and try to take it easy, bench players, like, no intensity, like, Jamaica is not at a level where they should be doing things like that, guys. Like, they should have gone 100% here, not trying to rest. Like, I mean, they made it through, right? It worked, but I don't think they're at a level where they can do that. If this was, like, Mexico or the U.S., I'd think, okay, well, they're obviously better. Yeah, like, you're going to go through regardless. New Caledonia is not beating you, right? But Jamaica, yeah, they just barely made it through 1-0. And then they had to play Congo. Watching Jamaica play like this, even if they were taking it easy on purpose, I did not think they stood a chance against Congo. And sure enough, Congo won. Congo's through. They're through the World Cup, so congrats to them. They were definitely the better team. They deserve to be there. Jamaica is probably never going to be in a World Cup, guys. They're always a mess. So I didn't really expect them to qualify, to be honest. And then we had the big match. Oh, this was a good one. Iraq versus Bolivia. Iraq, solid team. Bolivia, they're mainly elevation merchants. But this was a close one. Honestly, I think Bolivia was maybe the better team during the match. The only thing about Bolivia, excuse me, like I said, allergies. All right, I'm back, guys. Yeah, these allergies are killing me, honestly. I don't know why this happens right when I'm about to record every time. But anyways, guys, Bolivia, they were the better team, thinking about it, but they just lacked the quality up front. There was no quality. Like, Terceros was trying to, like, hero ball the whole thing. He's a good player, guys, but Terceros is not good enough to be able to take on a bunch of defenders and make something special happen. I mean, he can, but it's not going to happen. It's not always going to happen, right? He's a quality player. I like him. But other than that, guys, not a whole lot of quality. A lot of corners wasted. They had like 17 corners, something like that. Like, almost, excuse me, almost none of them, like, had any good delivery. Iraq, they took advantage of the opportunities they had. They put it away. And ironically enough, they qualified on Mexican soil where they last played their last World Cup 40 years ago. So I think that's pretty ironic. That's pretty nice. So yeah, they were last in 86 in Mexico. That was the last World Cup they're in, and now they're in. And Bolivia, they haven't qualified since 94. They had their chance here, but yeah, just not enough quality on the team. And, you know, I do feel for the Bolivia because they had a decent campaign, honestly. Like, they beat Brazil. Yeah, most of it is because they play in altitude and everyone's just, like, passing out by the time they get there. But they still had a decent campaign. I mean, they finished above, like, Venezuela, you know, Chile, Peru. Like, those are pretty much all the South American teams are pretty decent, honestly. Like, Bolivia tends to be one of, like, the punching bag team, but they were decent, even with CONMEBOL getting another spot, but they just couldn't make it. And like I said, just the lack of quality, honestly. Like, they were on Iraq. Like, Iraq, if Bolivia was maybe like a team of, like, the quality of, like, Paraguay, they would have gone through, right? But yeah, guys, that's what happened. These are the teams that qualified. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Let me know if you think they'll do good, any of these teams. Honestly, to be honest with you, these teams, at least in this, like, playoff here in the intercontinental one, I don't think any of these teams would be in this position if it was still a 32-team World Cup. So it'll be interesting to see if they could do anything at all, to be honest. I don't expect too much from them. The European teams, honestly, even the European teams, I don't really expect much from them. Like, Sweden, they like I said, they only made it because of the Nations League thing. And then Czechia, don't expect too much from them. Um, Bosnia, I mean, they're in. I don't know if you guys have seen their group. That group is a boring group, to be honest with you. No offense to Bosnians and Canadians and people from Switzerland and Qatar, but yeah, not a very good group. Yeah, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. Italy, another failure. Honestly, insane. I still can't believe it, guys. I know I keep saying that. I keep saying it over and over, but it's just crazy the amount of failure they've gone through. This is Italy, guys. They won in 2006. That was the first World Cup I watched. I didn't watch 2002 because I was like a 5-year-old and the games were on like at 3 in the morning, right? So I wasn't watching that. But 2006, I watched that almost in its entirety, and I watched that Italy team. And, you know, these are like my formative years, like me getting into football. So to me, Italy was always like, damn, that's like, they're good. Like, they're good. And I mean, history's always shown that they're good, right? But to see this downfall, this is crazy. And I do feel for the Italian fans. They're very passionate, and Italy is a lovely, lovely country. So it's a shame that they will not be watching their country in the World Cup. I think they would have gotten out of their group. Honestly, group's not very tough. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments down there. Don't forget to subscribe if you sat through this whole video of just me rambling. Anyways, y'all take care. Have a good one.